Every year, the government is asked one question persistently. Jobs kahan hai? Where are the jobs? It is the #1 concern of youth in our country. This time, the Pradhan Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0 was announced by the Finance Minister. But why is this important and what is its significance? We'll be speaking to the Minister in charge in just a while from now. But meanwhile, when we are talking about big bang reforms, we have a number of such measures announced. So let me ask the Minister who is joining us now, Mr. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Union Minister of State for Entrepreneurship, Skill Development, Electronics and Technology. The opposition's main question to the government is that when you talk of skilling, there are big schemes, but it comes to nothing. How is this Kaushal Vikas Yojana going to help people in our country? Mr. Chandrasekhar.
Padma, for the so-called opposition people who are finding, desperately looking around and scrounging around to find fault, and in this case about skilling, I want to just inform you and your viewers that these are the people who left behind in 2014 a workforce that had 34 crore unskilled workers, 34 crore, 340 million of the Indian workforce was unskilled, and every year in that duration, 2.2 crores to 2.5 crores new unskilled workforce was joining the workforce. This was the legacy that this government, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, inherited. Over the last 5 years, we have skilled about 6 crore Indian youth, and during COVID, of course, there was a significant disruption to the skilling efforts. And now the budget announces a multi-thousand crore project on PMKVY 4.0 and the National Apprenticeship Scheme that is aimed at skilling and giving skills to our youth for all of the areas that are throwing up so many new opportunities post-COVID in these modern areas. And the Finance Ministry, Honorable Finance Minister, mentioned that in her speech. It is about blockchain, AI, coding, drones, bringing technology into agriculture. So many of these modern future-ready skills that our youth need and require to align them with these fast emerging opportunities in the post-COVID world is what PMKVY 4.0 and NAPS will deliver.
How is
and
this
the other reform apart from that, and
sir, how is this different from Skill India? Because that was already in place since 2014. How are the two different?
No, the Skill India is the Skill India is a broader mission, Padmaja, and it had multiple years, it had multiple different types of schemes. So we launched Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas Yojana 1.0, and then there was a 2.0, and there was a 3.0 that was during the COVID that focused on the limited capacity that was available for skilling on healthcare and the wellness sector. And this really is the 4th edition of Kaushal Vikas Yojana, which is totally redesigned and is focused on the modern future-ready skills that our youth want, not just for skills in their district, skills in around the country, but also for 30 Skill India international centers that will prepare them with all of the skills required, including soft skills, for the opportunities abroad.
So here's the question, sir. So I have a follow-up question.
Also announced 160 nursing colleges. Yes.
So I have a follow-up question. So now you have skilled youth, but what about the jobs? So as opposed to unskilled unemployed, now we'll have skilled unemployed.
No, I don't think so. I think, again, if you read the budget speech very carefully and you go into the design of what we are doing on skilling, it is industry linked. There is a significant amount of partnership and involvement by the industry in what areas we are skilling. We are creating employable skills in the youth of the country. So therefore, this sort of this narrative that there are many unskilled workers in the workforce is, yes, a legacy issue. But we are using upskilling, we are using skilling to convert as many of them into skilled in the workforce as possible and skilling them to be industry ready and future ready.
The other hat, of course, you wear is for the Minister of IT, MOS or IT. You have 100 labs for developing applications using 5G set up in engineering institutes across the country. What does this translate into? In the real world,
Yes.
How does this benefit me?
No, look, I think, since you asked the question about 5G, it's a small element of the entire digital narrative in the budget. The 5G piece is because 5G is such a new, transformative and disruptive technology in the space of the internet. There are many, many applications around 5G that are yet to be, in a sense, designed, built or invented. And instead of the world doing it, we want our young startups to create a new opportunity of creating applications around 5G that range from education, health, agriculture. And we believe this partnership between government, academic institutions and the students in those academic institutions will catalyze an ecosystem of startups that will create these new age, next gen 5G apps that will best use the underlying 5G network that is being rolled out all around the country today.
Another interesting mention was that of Centers of Excellence for AI. What is the thinking behind that and the motive?
Yes. No, there is a very deep thinking in it, and obviously all of us are very grateful to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister for getting this done in the budget. AI is a huge area for innovation and ecosystem and startups and research for our country. We are the largest consumers and producers of data. We have the largest data sets program in the world, and we think, and we are coincidentally in 2023, we are the chairman of the Global Partnership of AI, a forum of artificial intelligence nations around the world. So AI, the whole focus is about the India AI program is about creating on top of these India data sets large number of AI applications, and as the Honorable Finance Minister said, one of the focus areas is to bring AI and learning into governance, into making much smarter schemes that learn on their own and are able to better target and direct the benefits of the scheme to the beneficiaries and citizens all around the country. So AI, it can be a very, very powerful governance tool, as AI can be a very, very powerful innovation and ecosystem for the next wave of startups for our young Indians. So in a lot of ways, this is like the UPI example being recreated. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji built UPI to make sure direct benefit transfer, money from the government reaches the citizen without corruption, without leakage, and can be done fast and responsibly, and it has spawned one of the biggest ecosystems of fintech in the world. Similarly, we believe AI, India AI and AI in governance will also create a large ecosystem of applications and startups that will create those applications for government and for outside the government as well.
Interesting you mentioned that, because I remember the budget speech where UPI was spoken of. Many had laughed about it, said, what do you think somebody sitting in a village is going to be transacting through UPI? Now we have record transactions happening. Let's hope AI also goes in the same direction. Mr. Chandrasekhar, thank you very much for speaking to Times Now.